krockfootball.com.au, the coaches catch-up continues. Myers Reserve, the home of the Bell Ppost Hill Football Club, and their coach, Brent Grgic, good enough to join us. Gerg, obviously disappointment the way season 2013 finished as you were chasing 4 in a row, but I suppose that serves as motivation to try and make it 4 in 5 years.
Yeah, definitely. The guys are a bit keener than they were probably this time last year, so obviously that's pretty exciting. The guys are really fit and worked really hard. As you said, for a bit of a kick in the pants at the end of the year last year was, obviously not what we wanted, but it's working in our favour at the moment. The way the guys are pretty fired up and working so hard.
After the exaltation of the previous 3 years, what was it like in that sort of period post the grand final when you obviously had success in those 3 years?
Yeah, it was a bit strange actually. It was sort of almost, a few of the guys said it was sort of like a bit of relief in a way, which is a bit strange, I suppose, to say after losing a grand final. But, for being up for so long, it was sort of, to put a positive spin on it, was probably good to actually look back and reflect on those three victories. So obviously no one wants to lose a grand final ever, but we're good enough to play finals, which is our goal, and make the grand final as well, which I thought at stages we probably had chances to win as well, but obviously not good enough in the end. But probably not used to it for a few of the guys, but we'll take it in our stride and work harder again this year.
Let's look at 2014 and obviously some changes to your list. I suppose one that most people will talk about, and I think you're expecting to lose him anyway, was the Whitley medalist in Shane Tobin. He's signed with Manor Lakes in the Western Region Footy League, but how much footy he plays, I suppose, is debatable.
Yeah, that's right. He we were probably lucky to get last year out of him before he retired, and he came up here and he gave us 4 years and played in 3 premierships, so we're pretty happy, what we got out of him. And he retired at the end of last year, which was no problem. And obviously he's from up at that area, and they're a new club, obviously looking for some experience. And we obviously wish him all the best, definitely.
Not the only one though. Jaden Symes, Matty Jovanovic, Sean Lewis, I believe there's a question mark on. So some experience and guys that know how to win off your list. Yeah, definitely. And all those players you mentioned are all sensational players and have helped us win premierships in the last few years. So they're going to be a huge miss. But in saying that, obviously we've got a lot of young good players coming through as well, and we've picked up some really good players as well. So it's pretty exciting. I suppose there'll be blokes that will really crave that opportunity that have probably been running around in your seconds, and your seconds have had some good success over that period as well, but everybody wants to play senior footy. Yeah, definitely, and that's the good thing about this group. The reserves team, as you said, have had some success, and they're a real young group, and their goal is to play senior football, not just to sit in the reserves and play in finals there. So we're lucky that we've got, each year we've had probably 8 or 10 or 12 in players that are pushing for selection. That's probably the key to a good team. North Geelong obviously found that out last year. The reserves won the flag in the twos too, so they've got a lot of depth as well. And as we might not have as many superstars as some teams, we've got a lot of depth, and I think that holds you in good stead throughout the middle of the year, especially. Talk about the Dave Holzfien situation. Can you update us? Obviously, Corio have lodged their bid for him, so to speak, by offering him an assistant coach role, but you're not in a hurry to let him go. Yeah, well, personally, from a coaching point of view, I've made it pretty clear to the club earlier that I'm just going to concentrate on the players that obviously want to be here and play here. So I've told them that they're going to have to deal with it going forward. I don't really want to be going to and from meetings and worrying about something like that. I've got to coach these guys that want to play, and we reckon we've got a team here that's good enough to win the premiership. So with Holsey, it's up to the club now, committee decision, and president's obviously decision as well. So I know they're not real happy about it, and I can understand definitely why they're not happy. So, but as I said, at the end of the day, it's their decision, and I don't think anyone wants Holsey not to play footy at all. He's another really good player that's helped us win flags over the last 3 years. So I think at the end of the day, I think both clubs will probably get together and work out what's right. But at the moment, it looks like a bit of a stalemate. Recruiting-wise, can you give us some names? What have you been able to attract to Myers Reserve? Yeah, we picked up a big ruckman in Ren Lovett, who's come down from Queensland, who's mates with the Whitneys, who played footy with him up there. So he's come down here and looks to going to be pretty handy for us. Nice big ruckman, which
which would be good to replace Jaden, who we've obviously lost. Daniel Well from Lara's come across, another mate of a few of our players here too. And Steve McLeod as well has come across too. So three really good players that come to mind straight away. But on top of that, we've got 3 or 4 under-18 players come through. Chris Moreland's younger brother, Bo Moreland, played a practice game the other night against Bell Park and looked really good. I thought it was actually Chris Moreland playing, so I think he's going to be pretty handy for us too.
Fantastic. You are going into your 5th year as coach. How much longer does Brent Grgic stay in the top job at Myers Reserve?
I think I'd say this would be my last year. I think definitely. Not that I don't want to keep coaching here. I just think best thing for the players and the club is probably to get someone new in. We've sort of discussed it over the last couple of years, and 5 years is a long time. I think, and probably we'd probably need a fresh face in here to take over at the end of the year. And we want to put someone in who's at the club already. We've got a few players sort of earmarked and a couple of assistant coaches that are probably keen to do the job. So, but I think we'll probably advertise at the same time and just see what's around. But we definitely want to keep it in-house if possible. And one of the either ex-players or the players playing this year will hopefully take over next year.
Have you sort of looked at that South Barwon Bell Park model where they've appointed from within and even they've gone with co-coaches? And I know you're at Bell Park, so do you look at that closely and see that as the model going forward?
Definitely, 100%. We always look at South Barwon and definitely Bell Park as well, who I reckon probably the 2 sort of best clubs in Geelong, regardless what league they sort of play in. So obviously we might not be in the same ballpark as them ability-wise and that sort of thing, but we want to try and emulate our club in the same way they do. So definitely that's exactly why we're doing it, and I think it obviously works for them, and I think it can work for our club as well.
Inverleigh, Corio, Werribee Central's Geelong West to start, and then I think you've got wins. You've got back here at Myers Reserve. I think you've got 4 of your first 5 at home. It's a chance to set your season up. Yeah, definitely. We like playing up here. Obviously, as most clubs do at home, but they're 4 going to be tough sides to play. As in most teams are when you come up against them. But I think we're undefeated at home for about 3 and a bit years, I think now. So obviously we play pretty well up here, and we want to keep that run going, definitely. Fantastic, Gurge. Great to catch up with you. Wish you all the best. If it is your last year, we're disappointed to see you go because you've had such a wonderful record, but no doubt you'll make a success of your final year in charge here. No worries. Thanks a lot. Brent Grgic joining us on carrockfootball.com.au, the Coaches Catch Up.